Hi everyone, Salesforce integration training day 5. Let's see what are we going to learn today. Till yesterday we were working on the JSON. So far we have seen JSON class. In the JSON class, how to utilize the serialize object to serialize and serialize with the two parameters, serialize pretty with the one parameter, serialize pretty with the two parameters, and we have seen the deserialize, strict, deserialize, untyped. This is what we have seen in the JSON class. And also we have seen how to use the JSON generator. Whenever we wanted to use the JSON generator, what are the steps that we have to go for it? Like creating a JSON generator. And then we have to start the object, write start object, write end object, and then we need to generate the file using the get as a string. This is what we have seen in the previous session. Today, we are going to see more into the JSONParser class. JSONParser class, how to use a JSON parser. So far, whenever there is a simple JSON, like if I am receiving the name, phone number, industry to the Salesforce, whenever I receive this kind of a normal JSON, which I know that by looking at this name, phone, industry, I can identify that this is the account information, simple, straightforward, which has a one key, one value, right? Which is a straightforward, and I can use it using the JSON class. I can do the deserialize, and then I can insert everything into the account. Now, whenever I receive little bit complicated JSON, like I receive the JSON which has a name, phone, industry, first name, email. In this case, I have a multiple information. When I say multiple information, I have the account information in this JSON, name, phone number, industry, these are the account information. First name, email is the contact information. That means two object record data is available in this. So in this case, we have used the JSON class as well as the JSON generator. JSON generator in order to create an account. Once this JSON is inserted into the Salesforce, we have used a different way to insert it. But today, let's assume that I have a different kind of a JSON. Name equal to Melissa, marks equal to 10, 20, 30, city equal to Hyderabad. Now, this kind of a data, if you look at this kind of a data, is it an account object? Don't know. Is it a contact object? Don't know. Which type of object? We don't know. Which type of a object record is this? We don't know. And here, name is a fine, but marks is having a array, and then city is Hyderabad. So in this case, we don't know how to insert this data into the JSON, into the Salesforce. How to insert the data into the JSON, Salesforce. So basically, whenever we have this kind of information, now let me go to the debug. Now these are the fine. We have a just straightforward information. Based on this, we have. But if I have a data, string j data equal to, in double quotes, in single quotes, curly braces within this, I'm going to say name, colon, we have some name here, let's say Melissa, and then comma, marks, in double quotes, marks, colon, 10, 20, and then 30s. Comma, we have a city, colon, Hyderabad. Now, this kind of a data which is available. When we don't know which object it is. We don't know which object. Whenever we don't know which object it is, what we used to do is we used to convert this data. Whenever we receive this kind of a information into the Salesforce, we simply used to do the JSON dot deserialize untyped. Deserialized untyped. Now here I can pass the whatever the JSON data is there, that JSON data I can pass it. And once it is untyped, I can store this data into the map of string comma object. String comma object. Now here it is this is the map object or map JSON equal to I need to convert this data. Whatever the data I'm receiving it, I need to convert it. Map of string comma object. Right? I need to convert this. So if I convert this, then I can print the data. Let me print the data. System dot debug map JSON. Now let me print this data. Execute the highlighted one. Now it says marks equal to 10, 20, 30, name equal to Melissa, city equal to Hyderabad. So this is how whenever we don't know what kind of data we are receiving it, then what we will do is we will just use the JSON deserialize. JSON deserialize untyped. In that untyped, I can pass the JSON data. I can store the data into the map object. I can store that into the map object. Now let's assume that instead of using the untyped, what I'll do is I'll go for the JSON parser. Now we have this JSON parser. So whenever we wanted to, whatever the data we are receiving it, we wanted to create a parser for this. So basically JSON parser is nothing but represents a parser for JSON encoded content. That means we use the system.json parser method to parse a response that is returned from the call to external service. That means, for example, if I receive this is the data we have received it, right? So assume that this JSON we received it from the third-party system. Whenever we receive this data from the third-party system, what parser does is, parser first divide the key value, whatever the each key and each value is there, it will divide it. It will divide the each one of them, and which is called as a token. That means this is the first token, and this is the second token, this is the third token, this is the fourth token, this is the fifth token, this is the sixth token. So each one it will think as a token. So what parser does is parser will divide the each one of them. Now this is the data that I have received. Whatever the data that we have received it from the third party, whether it is a key, value, whatever it might be, it will divide the each one of them. That means each double quotes, whatever we have, that each one of them, it will convert into the token, and it will think as it is a token. It is a token. JSON parser, it will consider as a token. Now each token we will go through the step by step, and for that token we will try to get the text. For that token we will try to get the text. So this is the one token for the text, third token for the text, and fifth token for the text. Now this is how it does it. And in the JSON parser, whenever we wanted to implement the JSON parser, we have a multiple methods which are available in the Salesforce. So like JSON generator has most of the methods which starts with the write, but whereas JSON parser methods starts with the get command, starts with get keyword. Most of the JSON parser method starts with the get. That means we are trying to get the data. We are trying to get the data. Now I'm trying to get the text, time value, current time, next token. No, next token is return the next token or a null. If there is any token which is available, what it does, it will return the next token. Or else it will simply return the null if the parser has reached the end of the input stream. So that is the next token. And similarly, we have a get text, get value, get double value, get current name, get date time. So everything, most of the methods starts with a get in parser. In JSON parser, most of the methods start with a get. Now let's go ahead and see one of the example. So the example is, we will see that one example. Basically what I'll show you is how to implement JSON parser. And what are the, after implementing the JSON parser, I will show you the output in Visual Studio. Now, in order to implement the JSON parser, we need to follow the certain steps. Step 1, create a constructor. First, you need to create a constructor. Constructor is because I'll be using the Visual Studio. The whatever the output is there, the output I'll be showing into the Visual Studio, Visual Force. So you guys remember the Visual Force, right? Whenever we wanted to implement a class, we have to go with the cursor, constructor. And then first step is create a parser. In order to create a parser, JSON system.JSONParser JS equal to JSON.create parser. Create parser JSON string. And step 3 is loop through the token. That means each token I'll be looping through it. Each token I'll be looping through it. JS.next token not equal to null. Here I'll be using the while condition. Mostly we will use the while condition. So while condition, this is basically every token I wanted to loop through it. Every token I wanted to loop through it. And then whatever the text is there, I'll be printing the text here. I'll be printing the text and whatever the current token. So basically the use case is I'll be implementing the Visual Force. In the Visual Force, I'll be showing the what is the key and then what is the token. What is the token? Now that means here key is, if I say this is the JSON. Or if I say that this is the JSON which I'm going to get it. JSON which I'm going to get it is name Melissa, marks 10, 20, 30, city Hyderabad. For this, the output will be in the Visual Force. Key will be 10. And here you will have the value number in it. That is the token. This is the key and value number in it. 20 value number in it. Int. 30 value number int. And then city is the basically it's a field name. Token is field name. And then Hyderabad is a value string. That's the token. And then marks is the field name. And name is the field name. And Melissa is the value string. And then we have a whatever the square brackets. Square brackets are there for the 10, 20, 30. If you see this, now let me copy this. Now let's go back here. Now let's use the, now this is the JSON. For this JSON, now 10 is the value number int. 20 is the value number int. 30 is the value number int. and then city. City is the field name. And Hyderabad is a value string. Similarly, name is the field name. Token is field name. And then Melissa is the value string. After that, we have something called square brackets here. We have a square brackets. So square brackets are basically it is called as a start array, and close of this is called as the end array. This is a token of end array. Similarly, curly braces we have. Curly braces is a start object and ending that is called as the end object. So everything, whatever you are getting this, you are receiving the JSON structure. Parser will convert like this. So each one of them it will take, each key it will take, and what is the token of that? What is the token of that? So this is the output I'm going to implement in the Visualforce. In the Visualforce, whatever the data I have received it, every data I'll be dividing into the each key and what is the token for that key. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So let's go ahead and implement. File new, let's say Apex class. Now I'll be implementing the parser. So JSON underscore parser, JSON underscore parser. Now for this parser, I'll be implementing a constructor because we are going to display the data into the Visualforce. So Visualforce is not going to call any method directly in the constructor. I'll be implementing the logic. Directly in the constructor, I'll be implementing the logic. So constructor is nothing but which is same as the class name. It does not have void, static, nothing will be there. Now here I'll be passing that JSON string. Whatever the JSON string is there, I'll pass that JSON string. Let me copy the JSON string here. And this is the JSON string. JSON string. Now, what are the JSON string is there? So first step is that I need to create a parser. In order to create a parser, I'll use the system dot JSON parser, JSON parser. Let's say JP equal to JSON dot create parser. Create parser, and in this I'll be passing the JSON string. Now, whatever the string is there, that's the same thing I'm passing here. Now this is the first step. Now the next step is I'm going to loop through the each token. I'm going to loop through the each token while JP dot we have so many methods are available. We have so many methods are available. But I'm just interested, what is my next token? What is my next token? Is my next token is not equal to null, then only go inside to it. Then only go inside. And what I need is basically, I wanted to store everything into the map. What are the key and value is there? So jp.getText, jp.getText get me this, as well as jp dot whatever the current token is there. Whatever the current token is there, I'll get these two. I'll get these two, and these two I'll be storing into the map. I'll be storing into the map object. Now, this data, if I wanted to send it to the Visualforce, if I want to send this to the Visualforce, how can we declare the variable here? Variable has to be declared on the top, saying that public string. Now, let's say instead of public string, I need a map value here. So map data, map of string comma object, string comma object. Let's say this is the result. Whatever the result is there, I need to use for a set and get, because this is the variable which will be passing to the Visualforce. Let's take this and result dot put. I'm going to place the text as well as the current token. Text is whatever the each one of them is there. Whatever the each one of them. This is the text and this is the current token. Whatever the current token is there. Now let's save this. Right now I am using for the Visualforce, right? So for the Visualforce, that's the reason I use the constructor. If you are not displaying anything in the constructor, it might not require. We will see another example without the Visual Studio. That time you will see the difference. Now here I am using the Visualforce. So that's the reason I am using the constructor here. Now let me go and implement the Visualforce page. Let's say that this is VF underscore JSON parser. Now in the Visualforce page, the first thing I'll be calling this class. Let me call this class. So controller equal to, this is the class name. This is the class name. Now let me use the table. So basically I wanted to display the key and token. So I'll simply use the apex colon. We have a data table. Let's take the data table. Now within this data table, I'll pass the whatever the output I'm getting it, I'll just pass the data to the data table. So value equal to, let's say curly braces exclamation result. And here I'll give a name to it, var equal to, let's say it's a, right? So I'll just add some padding here. Padding will be the 10, and I'll also add the border. So frame equal to border, so that the border will be displayed. Now within this, what are the result I am getting it? I'll be displaying the data step by step. Now first column, there are two columns are there. There are two columns. This is one column, this is another column. Now I'll be dividing two columns. Apex column, and here the value will be value curly braces exclamation a, and if I wanted to display the header, header value equal to key. This is the first column. And the second column, whatever the token is there, the token I'll be displaying it. So apex column, and the value equal to double quotes. Now here exclamation result of a, whatever the, for that key, whatever the value is there, just get the value. And next we have a header value equal to, let's say it is a token. Now this is the Visualforce page. Now let's save this. What is the error? Syntax error. Where exactly the syntax error? So let me place this inside the form, apex colon form. What is the syntax error here? Still it is saying the syntax error. Apex form, data table, value, result.
Result.a.
Sorry.
Is it result.a? Or yeah, the curly braces, is correct?
Result of A.
No, dot should come, I think. Dot.
Okay.
Result.a. Yeah.
Result of A. So square brackets, result of A. Now click on a preview. Attempt to dereference an expected error occurred. Okay, so what will be the issue? Okay, so we have used the get set for the result. Similarly, we have to use the get set for the whatever the JSON string is there. So JSON string also required. Public string, JSON string, set get. So that it is available on top. Dereference null object. Result, declaration, result equal to new map of string comma object. Okay. So right now we are displaying the data. This is the data which is displaying. So here what I am doing is for the visual force, whatever the data that we are declaring here, right? Or whether I'm sending the data to the visual force or receiving the data from the visual force, we have to always use the set and get, where it has the access modifier as a public. Right, so I have declared the two of them, JSON string and the result. So result, here I have initialized it, right? So I declared here and initializing inside this. Within this, I'm passing the JSON string. Once the JSON string is received, then we are creating the parser here. We are creating the parser. Now within this JP, within this JSON parser, whatever the next token, if the next token is not equal to null, that means I'm looping through the each token. So whatever I receive the next token, then the text and whatever the current token is there, the data I'm printing into the map. I'm pushing the text and current token, pushing it to the map. From the map, in the visual force, what I'm doing is I'm passing the map data to the visual force. For the map, I'll declare a variable called A. So using this column, basically this A will contain the key. A will contain the key. And this result of a key equal to current token. So that current token is displayed here. So first it will take all the integers. What are the integers are available within the JSON? It will take all the integers 10, 20, 30. And then I have a text Hyderabad, Marks, Melissa, name. And then everything it will take it as the square bracket and close bracket. Then it will comes as in smaller letters. Now it also matters if I am passing the capital or a smaller, based on that it will take. Now if I change the city capital C, if I change C capital C, it will come on top. So first it will take the city here. Now next, start array, end array. If there are any smaller letters, all the smaller letters will take after the end array. Then start object, end object. This is how, this is my text and this is the current token value, current token information. This is the text and this is the token information. Now what we have done it, I have just created the parser for this and I'm checking I'm not yet converted this yet, right? So I'm not yet converted. Basically what I'm doing here, what are the JSON that I have received it, I created the parser and that parser token looping through the each token and displaying the token here, the current token information and what are the text is there, the text data which is displaying the data, Now, usually in the real time, the complex JSON will be, because in the real time, we will be using mostly parser. The reason why we are using the parser is, now let me tell you the simple JSON and complex JSON. So simple JSON is nothing but where you are receiving the name, some name you are receiving it here. Now let's say that this is the GPT and then you are receiving the phone number and this is, let's assume that some phone number you are receiving it, then rating like this, you are receiving the each key you will have a value. So this is the rating colon thought. This is simple, straightforward, which is you can use it either JSON Class or whatever the simple way to implement, you can use it. This is the simple JSON. Now, whenever you receive a complex, when I say complex, usually in the real time, the data will be received in this format. So the complex will be here you have a status. First, they will give us the status equal to whether it is successful or a failure. Now, let's assume that it's a success. And then you will be receiving the code equal to 200. And after this, you will be receiving the account. You will be receiving the account information within the account. That means after the account, you have an array. Within the array, you have a multiple. Within the object, you have a multiple arrays will be there. Now within the object, you have a first array, which is says that name equal to, let's say this is a JPT 1 and this is a phone number. Phone number is some phone number. And you have a rating. Equal to hot. Like similarly, you will be receiving like this, you will be receiving the multiple data in single object. You will be receiving multiple data in single object. Like this, you will be receiving it. Like this, you will be receiving the data where you have a multiple information. Now, along with the account details, you might receive a contact details also, like contact colon. This is another, again, one more object. Within this, you have a multiple contact information. Now, this is the first name. Let's say this is the first name column some data here. And let's say this is a Raj, and then phone number. Phone number, you'll be receiving some phone number here. So like this, you will be receiving the multiple contact cards. So almost you will be receiving like this data. Now if I show you in the beautification, let me copy this entire thing. Go to the Google JSON beautification, JSON formatter. Now here I'll be pasting the value here. Code should be in double quotes. Now, this is how you will be receiving some data. Now, in this, starting some data will be there, which is nowhere connected to the object, which is nowhere connected to the object. Then you will receive the account information. Then you will receive a contact information. Then you will receive some more object information. Like that, multiple object information, you will receive it. Now, when you receive this kind of a information, because starting few fields are nowhere connected to the any of the object. It's just information for the developers, or it's just information for the Salesforce. But that doesn't mean that means that do I need to insert this data? No, I need not to insert this data. It is a bit complicated JSON where it has a multiple informations are available. Now, this is a complicated JSON. It is complicated JSON in the real time. This is how we receive it in the real time. So when we receive this complicated information, because we don't know how to deserialize it, and mostly for this kind of whenever we received this kind of a JSON from the third party, so we use mostly JSONParser in order to deserialize it. Now let me show you the one example. Let's take an example. Now this time I'm not going to use the constructor. Now previously we have used the constructor because I was displaying the data in the Visual Force. In the Visual Force, I was calling the JSON parser and displaying the output here. So that's the reason I have implemented the constructor here. Now I'm going to implement one more class without constructor. Simply I'll be going to the each token and let's see how the data is going to display the information. Now let's implement another class, Apex class. Let's say that this is a JSON parser example 2, JSON parser example 2. Now only within the Apex class I'll be doing all this now. Now here, this is the class. Inside this class, I'll be reading the JSON data. Assume that there is somebody who is getting the data information. Let's say it is giving me the it is sending the information. Now, whenever it sends the information, I wanted to read that JSON, and then by using the parser, I need to get the each data and value within the Salesforce. So public void, and let's say the method name is, I'm going to read the JSON data, read JSON data. Now, I'm not expecting any parameter here because the parameter I'll be specifying within this. I'll be specifying within this. So let's say string data here. Let's say it is a JSON string. For JSON string, I'll be passing the JSON string here. Let's assume the string details are, let's say I have a different informations which are available. So I'll not even say account. I'll just say that customer. I'll just say the customer colon, and within this I have some information. Within the customer, I have a name. Now this customer is a Wipro customer. And then phone number. Phone. And for this phone, we are passing some data here. So let's pass some information. Then after that, I have a closing this. Customer is closed. Then I'm passing some salary here. Salary. This is for one single member. That means there is some person. There is some person here whose first name is, whose last name is, let's take somebody here. Whose last name is Sharwon, and then first name, comma, first name, colon, let's say first name is Archana. And this person is working in Wipro. This person is working in Wipro. So that person customer details are Wipro, and that is the phone number for the Wipro. And this person's salary is, let's say that 25,000 dirhams, 25,000 dirhams. Okay, this is the normal data. Usually whenever we get a new employee joined in the company, this is how we get the JSON data. Now here I have some contact details, and I have a account details, and there is something called as the salary details, right? So some information which is available. Now I'll take this string, and first step what I'll do is step one, create a JSON parser. I'll create a JSON parser. Create a JSON parser. Now, how do I create a JSON parser for this? I'll simply create it system dot JSON parser JP equal to JSON dot. I'll be using the create JSON dot create parser. For this, I'm passing the JSON string. This is the first step. Now the step two. I need to loop through the each token. So So that means loop if the parser is not empty. That means if you see that parser is not empty, then only loop for it. If parser is not empty, is not empty. If parser is not empty, loop to that. How do I do that? While jp dot next token not equal to null. Not equal to null. Now I'm looping through the parser if there is a value. If there is a value, then I'm looping through that. Now, when I'm looping through the each token, now first thing is that I wanted to get the customer information. I wanted to get customer information because I wanted to create an account for this customer. Now let me see that is this a valid JSON or not? Is there any mistake here? Okay, it's a valid. So you have a last name, first name, and the customer details and the salary details are there. Perfect. So now I'm looping through the each token. When I'm looping through the each token, first let's save the customer information. First, I wanted to store the customer information. That means customer is having some array of details are available for the customer, where it has a name and phone, multiple data which is available in the array. First, I will try to go through the customer information. In order to find customer details within the JSON, what I'll do here, JP, if JP dot get the text, whatever the text is there, get the text. If the text is equal to customer, then only go inside it. That means for the get text customer, I wanted to perform in details here. If it is a customer, if the get text equal to customer, then what I need to do, I need to first go to the next token, and I can simply create an account for this. I can simply create an account ACC equal to, now what are the JP dot, we have to use the read the values as a class called account class. Whatever the data is available, read that as a account class. Within the account class, we have a certain fields will be there. So read that information as the account, and then you need to convert it account. So account ACC equal to, you need to convert the account gp dot read value as account dot class. Then you need to insert the information. This is the customer details, where it is this one. Next, what I wanted to do is, if the text equal to salary, then get this particular value, and display the whatever the data is there. But I cannot insert. I don't know where is the salary information. So what I'll do is simply if jp dot get text equal to, if it is a salary, text equal to salary, if text equal to salary, then go inside to it and then get the jp dot next token. What are the next token is there? Go to the next token and whatever the data is there. So salary could be a decimal, salary could be a number, right? So what I'll do is jp dot get me the decimal values. Get me the decimal value. Get me the decimal value, and let's store the decimal value into the decimal. So let's say here DEC decimal salary equal to, I need to convert into the decimal. Decimal jp dot get decimal value. And then I'm going to print this data system dot debug. Now let's say here I'll be printing the value salary. Same for the first name and the last name. For the first name and last name. So what you can do for now, for the first name, I'll be just printing the first name as well here. Or you can, if you want, you can create the contact. So if jp dot get text, jp dot get text equal to, if it is a first name, then get me the token, get me the next token, jp dot next token, jp dot next token, and then here I'm going to just print the whatever the text format is there. Now this is the Archana is there, right? So I'm going to get the details here. So jp dot get text. I need a text here. jp dot get text. Now this text I'll be storing into one string. Let's say string equal to string of employee name, emp name equal to jp dot get text. And then we will printing the system dot debug and print the emp name. Now let's save this. Right? So this is the information. Now I have just taken the employee who joined the company called Wipro, phone number and salary. Wipro, phone number and salary. Read as a value is basically, it is going to read all the values that are available within the array. Whatever the values are there within the array, instead of after getting this customer, again I need not to check each whether get text equal to name, then store that into the name. Get text equal to phone, then store the value into the phone. Get text equal to rating, then store the value equal to rating. Now last time you remember everything, each value we have stored into the separate string. Instead of storing into the separate string, and let me show you the last class which we have implemented. I don't remember the class name, but it might be probably with JSON. Right. So here each data I'm storing into the NM, phone, industry, and then you are initializing the accounts, passing all the details, and you are inserting the information, right? Instead of doing that, instead of again going through the each text, check if it is a get text equal to name, then store account ACC dot name equal to this. If JP dot get text of this is the phone, then again check this. Instead of going through the each again and again, what I'm doing is we have a predefined method which is called as a read value as. So it is going to read the value and compare with this class. In the class, we have a certain fields are declared. whatever the fields are there in the account, those all fields are having the class. So whenever there is a object is created, whenever the object is created, by default, Salesforce is going to create a class at the backend, which I have mentioned in my previous sessions. So this is the class for every class, every object, there is a class is created. In this class, it is going to store the name, phone, rating, what are the fields we are creating it, everything will be stored into the class. Now it is going to check whether the name field is available within the account class. If it is available, then it will take it. If the phone is available within the account class, if it is available, then take it. So basically it is going to read the each value. It is going to read the each value that is available within the object, within the array. Within the array, whatever it is available, it is going to take it. So parser has something predefined method which is called as a read value as. Now if you go back to the JSONParser class, here we have something called read value as a apex type. So it is deserialize the JSON content into the object. Whatever the JSON is there, it will deserialize into the object that is specified in the apex type. It will automatically deserialize it. Like here we have an account. So similar to this is the person. So they have created the object. Whenever the object is created, the class will be created with the same name of the object. Now here it is a person. Person has a name and phone number, right? So whenever you have a person which is a name and phone number, now you are just using the read value. Whenever you say read as a value, read value as. So what will happen? It will go and check in the person class what are the fields are available. That the same fields it is going to take and insert the data. Is that clear, Raj? Okay, so now let's move on. Now this is the information which I have it. Now what I'll do is, instead of declaring the JSON parser here, what I'll do is, instead of declaring the JSON string here, I'll declare it on top, which is a public access modifier, public, let's say JSON string. This is the string, public string JSON string. Now inside this, I'll remove the JSON string value here, data type. Now let's see. Now let me execute this parser. JP equal to ex2 equal to new, whatever is available. Now JPX 2 dot, we have a method. Now let me copy this read JSON data. Let's create it. Now just to cross verify, I'll give here Wipro 2905 so that I'll be able to identify. So let's save this. Let me highlight this and execute the highlighted one. Not numeric, 70th line. Cannot use the numeric value accessory input. Why it is saying numeric? Current token value string. Okay. Let me go to this error. Line 21. What is there in the line 21? Decimal, get decimal. Not numeric. Okay, it is a string. Okay, so let me take out the string value. It is not actually a string. It is has to be a numeric because it's a salary. Now let's save this. Clear all the logs. Now debug. Execute again. Now it has executed and the debug points. What are the debug points? So Archana 25,000. Let me go ahead and check the account. Is the account is created or not? Account with the customer Wipro. So Wipro 2905. This is the record which is created right now. Which is created right now. And as well as it is printing the first name and the salary. It is printing the first name and salary. Now again I'll go through these steps. Now here what we have done, the first step is we created the JSON parser. Second step is we are looking through the token. If it is not empty, then we are going inside this. After going inside this, the step 3, we are checking this is the step 3. The step 3 is, so based on the business requirement, based on business requirement, get the text from the JSON. Get the text from JSON. Get text from JSON. That is a step 3. So once we are done, for example, business need a customer information, get the text of the customer. Now once it is done, this is the step 4. Now here we are doing the step 4. Step 4 is whatever the token is there, move to the next token. Move to next token within the customer. Now move to the next token for data or a value. For data or a value, move to the next token for data or value. Now once we move to the next token, next the step 5, you need to read the values. Step 5, read the values and convert them into the SFDC. Convert as SFDC type. Then after that, whatever the action you wanted to perform in the step 6, whatever the action you wanted to perform in the step 6 is a basically perform action, perform SFDC action. These are the 6 steps which we will perform in the real time. In the real time, these are the 6 steps. Create a parser, whatever the data it might be, check what is the text based on the business requirement out of this 100 data, because the data will be a different. So in real time, we will have a different data will be there. Different data will be there. So let's take a API postcode. API postcode. So this API postcode, if you look at this is also, it will have a different information. Now let me copy this. Let's do the beautification of this. Now this is how you receive it. So this is the message and the status. This is just a information, you do not need it. And next you have a post object, post office object. Within the post office object, you have a different values you will be receiving it and different records you will receive it. Different records you will receive it. Different records you will receive it. So whenever you receive this, then there are some data which is unnecessary, but we are receiving it to know that whether the JSON is coming properly or not. Though we do not need to insert within the object, but we just need some information. We just need information, like how many records are found, right? So how many data is there, right? So those are details you wanted to get it. You want to get those all information. So for that, what we will do is you will try to get the information and you will try to pass this information. For example, you have a 49. 00049. So this has a different, this has a found to status is successful, and this is the object, post office object. Within the post office object, the object is starting from here. Within that we have a multiple arrays are there. Multiple arrays are there. Now how many arrays are there? I think more than 3 arrays are there. Right, so non-information till this point 1, and then it's starting another one from here and ending here. I guess 2 are there. Let's copy this. Let's go to the JSON beautification, enter this information. Yeah, two arrays are there within the post office object. Within the post office object, there are 2 arrays are there. Now, this is how we receive in the real time the JSON data. Whenever we receive this kind of a JSON data, some data we will receive it in the initially, which we have to exclude that. So look for only the one which business required it. Look for only the one which business needed. Like based on the business requirement, look for only that particular text. And within that text, whatever you wanted to get the data, so just read as a values as per the object. So basically what it does is it will take the JSON, it will take the JSON and it will convert into the SFDC object. It will convert into the object. And once it is converted into the object, whatever the data it is there, just insert that data here. Right, so the data will be created. And similarly, salary, if you want to store salary somewhere, you can store the salary. Right, so instead of creating the new record, you can update the existing record data also. And first name, last name, if you want to store somewhere, you can store those information. You can store that information. So this is how we do the parser. Any questions on the parser? Any questions on the parser? So the homework is take this, where is that? Okay, take this postcode. I'll just ping you this in the chat. Okay, open that postcode. In that postcode, try to find out what are the names. Just get the only the names for each object, for each array. Just get me the post office name. Only print the post office name. I don't want to insert any record, but just try to get the post office name. Only the post office names you have to get it. You have to get the only the post office name and print that post office name in the debug log. Send me the program and result also. Program and the result. Now let's go in depth of the JSON parser. So basically what happened so far is JSON parser, we created the JSON parser. And once it is created the JSON parser, it will check is there a token or not. If there is a no token, then it will exit. If there is a token which is available, then what it does is it will try to find out the, based on the business requirement, you will get the text for this, for that text, you will get the details to process. Now, once you get the data, once you are into that particular object, you will move on to the next token to get the values, and then read the values that are available within that object, and while reading the values, you will be converting the JSON into the SFTC based on the type mentioned in the parameter, and then it will end the, that means finally you will perform the action. This is what it will happen in the JSON parser. This is what will happen in the JSON parser. And this is the homework. So I have given the different postcode, that's fine. You can take a 39 or a 49, whatever the postcode is there, you can take it. So just implement a JSON parser to find the post office names from the JSON specified, whatever the in the URL. Names are their post office names, only get me the post office names. Only get me the post office names. That's all for today. Tomorrow we will see how to read a file, how to send the file to the third party system, like by attaching the file, how can I send the data to the third party? Or how can I attach the file by using the JSON? So that's the last step of the JSON class. Once we are done with the file, then we will move on to the XML. So these all are the basics for the integration. These all are basic classes, how to use each class. So that's all for today.